From the creator of As Good As It Gets, which is nothing like good enough. It was a funny thing that, James L. Brooks made Broadcast News, and I said Morning Glory I thought was going to be Broadcast News Light, and it was. But Broadcast News Light Morning Glory is way, way better than How Do You Know? Story is essentially, does Paul Rudd's obnoxious father, played by Jack Nicholson, who's just doing Jack Nicholson, love him more than he loves his own freedom? Does his son love Reese Witherspoon's recently snubbed sportswoman more than he loves his dad? Can a sportswoman love Owen Wilson's narcissistic jock more than he loves Paul Rudd? In the end, does Paul Rudd love his dad more than he loves himself? And is the whole business going down the toilet behind them? Here's a clip.
George, let's go inside.
I have a date.
Date? Son, we are in a rapidly evolving situation here. I must tell you, I was afraid to use the telephone.
Because? No, don't tell me. I'm not ready to take on anything that I can't handle.
George.
No, you know what? I know exactly how I'm going to handle the situation. I'm going to treat myself like a company in trouble.
What I think is you are just indulging in a lot of neuroses here.
No, you start taking on more than you're ready for. The game becomes about how much you can take on instead of how well you handle it. And that applies right now.
Stand still.
No.
You do not have the luxury of not hearing this.
God, are you going to make me literally run from bad news?
Now, the weird thing about the film is, in broadcast news, what you had was this kind of industrial backdrop, which was, this is how a broadcast news station works. And there's a whole sort of satirical, socio-political thing going on about the way that news is controlled. That fantastic central line about, I know he's charming, I know he's lovely, but the fact is he's the devil. The thing about selling out, taking away journalistic integrity, replacing it with something else, which was, in the end, a backdrop to a story of three people. I think the whole tagline was, they knew what was going on around the world, they didn't know what was going on between each other. Here you have this kind of love triangle or quadrilateral thing, but it's actually a triangle, and you have the industrial espionage, you have industrial investigation going on in the background, and it's clear that they're attempting to emulate this thing that worked before, which is there's the industrial level, there's the emotional level, the two things tie together, somehow they mirror each other. He's in this situation, his relationship with his father is to do with a personal situation, but also there is a business thing, he's going to be arrested, maybe his father's going to be arrested, somebody else is going to be arrested. At no point did any of these people seem real, interesting, likeable. It was the bizarrest thing. It was like somebody had sat down and attempted to construct a version of a movie using elements that had worked in the past, and somehow none of them did. The characters were creaky, didn't behave in the way that people genuinely behave. The industrial stuff looked like it had been bolted on from some whole other movie. It was a depressing experience. And I tell you what, if you want to see a really, really good James L. Brooks film, go and see Morning Glory, which he didn't make, but he might as well have done.